I was saying that
more.
there, like we lost an entire generation of artists because of AIDS, and we rarely talk about it, which I
Yeah,
think is true. I talk about it a lot in like my circles, but I
you
think
do.
as like
Yeah.
a community,
Societally, we
we
don't talk
yeah,
about any
Yeah,
no,
but it's
yeah,
still a hush hush topic when it shouldn't
yeah.
be.
yeah,
And even though we, as cisgendered queer men,
yeah,
white men in the community, we see it often on the apps when we're going on dates, or people like they'll disclose it in their dating profiles and such.
yeah.
But majority of the rest of the country and or the world isn't really talking about it unless it's directly affecting their community.
Yes, exactly.
So before we dive in, can you explain your situation, your
Yeah.
status,
Yeah.
and your history and personal journey with this in particular?
Of course. So I was diagnosed with HIV when I was 16 years old.
So
Yeah, I was in high school, and I grew up in Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio. And we were talking about this before we started, but I'm grateful to have grown up in Columbus because it's a nice, like, liberal pocket in a densely red state. So while I was very young, I was able to get treatment very quickly, thanks to my parents and thanks to just like the great healthcare system of Columbus. Yeah, it was such a wild time. I mentally block a lot of that experience out of my mind just because I was one so young. So it's like a lot of us, we barely remember details from when we were 16. But I remember like HIV matured me very quickly, and I had to learn a lot of things very quickly.
of course, while in high school.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
really young age
Yeah.
to get a diagnosis
Yeah,
like that.
especially while you are starting to explore your sexuality and you're starting to like find out who you are, like you have this really big capital letter definer
Yeah.
placed on you. So that was really wild. And the hardest thing about it, like I said, I was able to get treatment really quickly and very privileged to have gotten treatment very quickly. The hardest thing to learn and weave my way through was like the dense stigma around HIV and AIDS, which we're going to talk about a lot today, I'm sure. But yeah, so that was wild. Going to college was weird because when you're diagnosed with HIV, you kind of take on this role of being an educator, and you're kind of forced to educate your community, sexual partners, friends, anyone that you disclose your status to. And you have to be well informed because you have to basically tell people that like their perception of HIV and AIDS is, if it's wrong, you have to basically prove them that it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a wild time.